long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. Forget out what you put in. Forget out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. Forget out what you put in. Forget out what you put in. Forget out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. Forget out what you put in. Forget out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. Forget out what you put in. Forget out. What happened there? But anyway, we are here now. We're live. It's Monday the 30th of September. It's the last day of September, Marie.
Crazy. Can't believe
where has the time gone?
No
Absolutely
idea.
Crackers. So before we go any further, Marie, tell us who you are, what you do.
Right. Marie Speakman. I'm currently based in Spain, but spend quite a lot of time in the UK. My background, I'm an accountant, 35 years in finance, European CFO for corporate, and then set up my own accountancy practice. And the last 3 years in the AI space, learning all about AI and AI products for accountants and bookkeepers. Fantastic.
So 3 years in AI. Most people have only been in AI like 6 minutes, haven't they? That's incredible. So what was it like 3 years ago?
Well, I was absolutely clueless. I was introduced by my ex-CEO from a technology company to an AI company and worked with them to develop a debt collection process, which is now being deployed in councils. So that was my first introduction. And I worked with some great data scientists and started to find out what it was about. But still on the search for a product that I could introduce to accountants and bookkeepers for bookkeeping.
Right. And so you're looking for a specific product rather than, say, Sage at the moment are talking about Copilot. So they've brought AI into their existing product. You're looking for something that is specifically for accountants and bookkeepers using AI. Is that right?
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of talk about it, but it's like, how can we actually use it? So I thought this is where I can help accountants to see how they can use it. And this year, I was introduced to another AI company, Genesis, who are developing Jack AI, which is a bookkeeping product, which I was very, very impressed with.
No, awesome. I guess we're going to talk about that a little bit today. So I'm just going to say hello to Michal. Hi, Michal. Nice to see you on a Monday. So AI, most of us are using AI because we've got predictive text on our phones, and we don't appreciate that. But what else are we using AI in that we don't know about, Marie?
I mean, it's built into most things now. Netflix. If you're on Amazon, it's the algorithms telling you what to buy. Things are coming up, what to buy. So we have been surrounded by it, and you can go back to the First World War, like Alan Turing, if you read about Alan Turing. So it's been around a long time. And then LinkedIn, obviously, LinkedIn is using the algorithms and AI to show us different content.
Yeah, no, and this is the thing, right? I love how you brought Alan Turing into the conversation. But yeah, like you say, from World War II, we were using AI back then, but it's just exploded in recent years, hasn't it?
Yeah, 3 years ago, if I went to a networking and I spoke about AI, everybody was like, "Oh, you're just this crazy woman in the room." But now, the rollout of ChatGPT brought the awareness.
Yes.
Which is great, and I don't know about you, but I use ChatGPT every day. It's like my
mate. It's like my mate.
Yeah, you end up kind of think I shouldn't be having a conversation with this AI, but you can bounce so many ideas, especially working, on your own if you work as a solopreneur.
So I've actually set it up now. So when I come in first thing, I turn around and say good morning to it, and I've told it to ask me what I'm doing for the day. So I automatically get a prompt, and it comes in straight away, and it says, "What are you doing to be productive today, Ashley?" You're like, isn't that brilliant?
Yeah,
I'm being held accountable for a bit of kit. But
yeah,
it's absolutely superb, and I think the more we use it, the more we find out how helpful and useful it is. So what sort of use cases have you got for ChatGPT then at the moment? So someone listening to this sort of like, oh, I keep hearing about ChatGPT, but I'm not sure whether I'd use it. What could you say to get them to have a look?
Yeah, sorry. For accountants, it's great for formulas in Excel. You know, if you're trying to come up with a formula for Excel, then you can ask ChatGPT. It can help you with that. I've also helped people kind of looking for a new role, and it's good to kind of upload. You obviously take out the sensitive information like you know, phone numbers, any sensitive data, but upload your CV into ChatGPT, get it to read it, upload the job spec, and say what am I missing from this job spec, and can you do me can you improve my CV? That's been another which people seem to like. I just think it's really simple. I use it for my LinkedIn content to do a review, to review my LinkedIn content and score it and say what would you score this, and using the different prompts now that are around, you can have that already set up in there. So yeah.
Ah, fantastic. Hi to the other LinkedIn user that's watching us as well. I don't know your names. If you want to comment or you've got any questions for Marie, put your name in first, and we can give you a shout out. So all this AI is out there, and all we need to do is just have a play. It's not going to hurt, is it? Have a play, see what it does. So what's this bookkeeping thing that you've got then? How does that work, and how's that going to revolutionize everything?
So what happens now, a lot of accountants are using data capture software like Dext.
Yeah.
So instead of, so what Jack can do is go straight to your email or wherever it's stored, a Slack channel, whatever, go into that, retrieve the information from there, and then it'll give you a traffic light, and it'll say, if it's something that it's seen before, it will be on green. If it's something that it thinks you might need to review this, it's orange. If it's something that it's never seen before, it's going to be red. So once we get to green, as we use it more, with the orange and the red are going to disappear unless we introduce something new to it. So it's once you've trained Jack on posting that invoice, it remembers. It's never gonna forget. It's a continual learning, and it's 10 times faster. So we've no need for data capture software, which at the moment the price is just going up. The other thing I really like about Jack is it's a pay as you go. So you could try it on, say you get a new client you've not introduced to data capture software, you could get the client to just try Jack on this one and just pay for what you use. So it's available to everybody. It's not so that even a smaller bookkeeper can use Jack AI.
So what Jack's doing is so I've got an invoice from something. I just send it to Jack, and Jack pulls it all out. So just like Dex does, but quicker, more efficient, and like you say, without the premium fees.
Yeah, so it just goes straight. So if you've got your supplier invoices in one place, it'll just go in, retrieve those, and then it'll say, do you want to publish? And then you publish into Xero, QuickBooks, or Sage. So the review stage has been done at that stage, not when it's kind of into your accounting package.
And because you've been working in this space, doing all of that stuff, you've had a help with the development. Is that right?
Yeah, the thing is with Jack, it's this summer there's been 35. There's been we've got a massive wait list for the product. But been very kind of, because as accountants we're all very prudent, so we want to make sure that we, Jack does what it says on the tin. So there's been 35 early adopters this summer who've adopted Jack, and then it's the continual training. And then from that, because it's the other thing I really like about it, it's a softly approach. Let's not just go on AI everything. We love it, but let's not get carried away with it. Let's start with the real foundation of accounting, which is the bookkeeping. Get that right. And then we can move on. At the end of the year, Jack will be able to do bank reconciliations, journals, prepayments, but we just start off with the very basic of getting the supplier invoices posted and expenses.
So we're right at the infancy of this Jack at the moment. Where do you see it going, Marie?
Well, I think because it's being developed with the help of accountants, it's going to be where is the need? What is the need within the accountancy practice? So, I mean, we all know that there's a shortage of, accountants are struggling to get people. So by making our bookkeepers the validators instead of the doers, we can then release them onto more interesting work. Also, we're moving away from like the compliance. Clients want advisory. They want to be advised, and it gives accountants the opportunity to free up time to advise, because it will the idea is that we will get this bit done, the main bit, and then we will move on through the processes and end up with a really kind of well-oiled back office for the accountant, who can then work with clients on the advisory. So that's the end goal.
And so with putting this into my practice, I'll be able to get rid of Dext or HubDoc or whatever else I'm using, will I?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And so that will free up, because the machine is only as good as the people using it. So because it's all AI, it makes it easier for people to use.
Yeah, I mean, it's seamless for accountants. It's just going on in the background. So if you deploy Jack, then it's just pointing it to your supplier invoices, and off it goes. And then obviously the review stage. And you probably start off with, it can be trained on your own data. So it's how good's that data, or you can start to train it from scratch. So start, this is this invoice, this is that. But it's only available in the UK at the moment because, obviously we've got to be aware of, the VAT, all this kind of regulation needs to be. That is a big factor in only train. It's been trained for the last 2 years, but it's only for the UK market at the moment.
Yeah, perfect. Just quickly, it's Natasha that is the LinkedIn user. So hi, Natasha, and also hi to Victoria. Victoria joins me every Friday, and we do a show as well, which is it was so funny last week, Marie. I had to remove myself from the room because I couldn't control myself. So if you're bored on a Friday, come and listen at 12 o'clock. We're a little bit more highbrow here, so we're more serious. I'm listening to this. I'm a bookkeeper. I'm now listening to this thinking, oh my goodness, this Jack is going to take my job. Marie, please help me.
No, it helps you to become the validator, not the doer. So if we can take that mundane and repetitive out, we've got a lot of really skilled, fantastic bookkeepers, and if they can get away from just that mundane repetitive task and move on to, it just frees you up for more client time, which is what we all, is what we want and what we need. It's like let's get from behind those screens and let's get out and talk to our clients, because that's where the real benefit is. There's no benefit in somebody sitting there going,
No, and this is the thing. Let's go back. I don't know, probably 80 years now. I was where I used to live. Opposite us in a bungalow was an old guy, and I took him a piece of Christmas cake on Christmas Day, and I was having a little chat with him. He lived on his own, and he was telling me how he built the house opposite by hand. And when he said by hand, he didn't even have a concrete mixer or a JCB.
Wow.
And it was a 2-story house. Him and his brother built this house. And you're sort of like thinking, oh my goodness, that is amazing. And today you go past the building site and you see concrete mixers, you see diggers, you see, carpenters with electric drills, electric saws and things like that. And you sort of like think, well, it's not taking their jobs. That guy still could have built that house if he'd have had a concrete mixer or a digger, but he'd have done it quicker. He'd have had more time to do more ornate brickwork, or to landscape the garden better, all kinds of things. And I think that's what we've got to remember, is the tools are here for us to do, rather than to take our jobs. Before QuickBooks and Xero came along, we had T-sheets, we had great big long ledgers and stuff like that. Who wants to go back to that?
No way. So it is that advancement. It's like, we're moving on. We've got to do it in a safe and secure way, which is always, the priority. And I think that's why it's, working with, you've got to be very careful who you work with, I think, on AI projects. Be very careful what you're putting into AI if it's open source as well. I've seen people say, I put this and this, and I'm thinking, no, unless you've got closed source, mate, don't put.
So if you're paying for AI, so you're paying for ChatGPT or Gemini or one of the others, that is closed, isn't it?
Yeah, you can close it, or you can ask you, do you want to kind of, because you're contributing, aren't you, to a great big database with the data.
So one of the things LinkedIn have just done is they've put a button on your security settings that you can turn on and off whether or not you share your stuff with the AI model. Because if you think we've got 1 billion people on LinkedIn and 5% of them are creating content, I don't know what the sums are, but there's an awful lot of content going into LinkedIn. They can use all of that in a large language model. So, that's really helping build it all up. And you can turn that off if you want to. So when you write your content, that's not going to go in the pot. And so therefore with ChatGPT, for example, you can close that off, because, if you're writing loads of content, then everyone's going to see that, and then they can use that in their content, can't they?
Yeah, that's it. If it's open source AI, then it's open.
Yeah. So what's the best use of AI you've seen, other than Jack, obviously?
The other ones that I like are where you've got the data integrity. So once we've got kind of the bookkeeping established, we're okay with that bookkeeping. There's AI that can do integrity checks for us, because as accountants, the worst thing was like you've got the bookkeeping's done, you produce the reports, you've done your tax, and you look and then you think, oh, something missing here, could be a payroll journal, something. And we've got AI that can check that for us. So I think that's kind of a great next step, to do a data integrity check. And then going on to the reporting. The reporting is really good, because we've got, say, you've got somebody that's not financial, but they want to ask something. The reporting that we've got now, we can actually, a non-accountant or financial person can go in and ask that, and that you can produce that report based on the scenario, as long as the source data is good.
Sure. Yeah. And so, but the source data is going to be good, because you've got AI putting it in. So that's where it really starts working. Because if you go and look at someone's spreadsheet and sort of like, oh, I want to help you with this, if they've put in rubbish, you're not going to be able to do any reports at all. So like you said right at the beginning, it's all about getting the fundamentals right, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And this is where, when you speak to accountants, this is where they struggle, because it's like, we think this is right, then we get it to the next level, and it's not right. So you've got senior people having to do that part of the work, which is, you know, they can't really claw that back as a practice.
Yeah.
So it's having those, you know, I always call it this, I always see it as a flow. It's like this flow, and we need to get this bit right, and then it can flow through, and then it comes out the other end, and it's good, it's fantastic. But we will always be the validators. We won't let AI just run riot on our accounts. We'll be the ones doing the validation.
Sure. Okay, so I'm listening to this and I'm thinking I need some Jack in my life. Is it readily available?
Yeah, you can. The best thing is, you know, book a demo. Just book a demo with us. There's a link on my profile which I'll share, and just book the demo. Chat with the guys at Genesis, and you know, it just gives you the chance to ask any questions that you want, and then, you know, you can ask me if anybody's interested. Just drop me a DM and we can chat.
And what sort of things are people saying about Jack?
Oh, they're absolutely loving it. It's I think it's something that has been so needed within the profession, and yeah, people are. I mean, it's only this summer that they've been adopted, but people are really excited about it. And obviously, it's kind of a learning together, because every practice is different. So it's, you know, it's being taught on your own data.
Perfect. And if anyone's got any questions for Marie, please drop them in, because Marie knows an awful lot about AI. So if you've got any questions, then please ask us that. So the future of AI, are we all going to lose our jobs, Marie?
No, I think we're all going to become more human again. I really feel like we've all, you know, gone behind the screens. I know that's definitely the case in finance. So it's now we've got to come from behind the screen and get out more, and there's going to be more communication going on. You know, and I think that's the great thing. And do we wanna be working? You know, you've seen the hours that accountants work and the stress that they're under. Do we want to keep doing that, or do we want to, you know, work smarter?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, as soon as you say the hours that accountants and bookkeepers work, we see in our heads pictures of people eating pizzas at midnight in the office during tax season, which is just crazy. So would Jack be helping us with our tax returns?
No, not at the minute. No, he won't. No tax involved. It's just, for the moment, it's just the basic, but it, you know, it will be a progression through.
Depending on what your clients and customers are looking for, I'm sure.
Yeah. But that's what's great about it, because it's, you know, it's deployed in your practice. Teach Jack this, and then, you know, it will be a natural progression.
Okay, so I'm thinking about Jack, and I like the idea of it. But when I started using ChatGPT, I didn't really know what I was doing. Are you going to hold my hand?
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely, yeah. It's not the guys in the early adopters. They've actually spent this summer in the practices with deploying Jack. Now, that's not something that will be possible for everybody going forward, but there's definitely a hand holding, and it works in the background. You won't even know you've got Jack. It's working. He's working away. I don't like saying he, but it's working in the.
Well, you've called it Jack, so I suppose you've got to.
Yeah, but it's working in the background.
Perfect. And why Jack? Why have we gone for the name Jack?
I think originally when I asked that question, it was that Jack of all trades, but he's really not. But I think he probably will be. It will be. But at the minute he's not. He's just, I want to get this bookkeeping right for you. I want to get those supplier invoices posted for you.
Fantastic.
And that's it. And that's another thing that kind of really sold it to me, because I did see a lot of people trying to do too much, and it's, you know, we'll do this. I'm like, no, slow down. Let's just let's get it where it's absolutely needed, and let's nail it, and then we can move on.
Yeah, no, perfect. So how can we get hold of you? How can we get hold of Jack? How does all that work?
You can get hold of me on LinkedIn, and there's a link there for a demo on my featured section, which I can put in the chat later.
Yeah, we definitely want to see that. So how often are you on LinkedIn then? How much content are you creating?
I try and do every day, to be honest.
Wow.
Actually. Yeah, okay. I try and get on there every day. So. And
is this all done in? Do you do this? You write yourself, or do you use ChatGPT to do that?
I write myself, and then I'll post it into ChatGPT and just say, "Can you review it for me?" Yeah. I'll do a little review on it. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Right. So I'm going to give a shout out to next week's guest. Thank you so much for being here today. But before we go, I just want to quickly give a shout out to Oliver Yonchev. He's from Flight Story. He's a top voice on LinkedIn. So what he doesn't know about making content work, I can't even say it. What he doesn't know about making content work isn't worth talking about. So looking forward to having a chat with Oliver next week. But Marie, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to everyone for all your lovely comments. And we will be back next week. Thank you very much, Marie.
Thanks, Ashley.
Cheerio. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win.